The days after the storm carried a strange stillness. The world had seen fear, felt grief, and whispered prayers. But now every sunrise began to sing a softer song, a song of gratitude, of faith, of life renewed. Dubai gleamed again, not just with gold and towers, but with hearts that learned tenderness. Every corner remembered that one name, Fazza, and every soul that once trembled now smiled again. Children ran through streets, shouting his name joyfully. Elders lifted their hands to the sky, thanking Allah for mercy, for protecting the Prince of Hearts. Fazza walked once more beneath the morning sun, his steps calm, his gaze bright, but his silence carried stories of what it means to face destiny and survive. He looked at the sea that once mirrored his fears and saw in its waves the reflection of a prayer, a reminder that no life is too royal to tremble, no heart too strong to break, no man too mighty to fall, and yet to rise again is divine. The people watched him not as a ruler, but as a soul reborn. His eyes spoke of storms conquered, of pain turned to patience, of silence turned to song. Every word he wrote after that day carried something deeper, a heartbeat that remembered the edge of life and found meaning in mercy. He wrote, "To fall is not defeat, to rise is faith, to cry is not weakness, to feel is strength, and to live again, that is grace." The city read those lines like scripture written in light, from majlis to mosque, from palace to home. His words became a balm for every wounded spirit. Fazza's poetry became prayer. His pain became purpose. He no longer wrote of dreams alone. He wrote of survival, of gratitude, of love that refuses to fade. Even in darkness, the desert winds carried his verses far across dunes, across oceans, to hearts that had never met him but somehow loved him still. And in those verses they found courage to forgive, to heal, to keep believing. The moon above Dubai seemed brighter, the air felt softer, as if the city itself was breathing peace again. Every night the people looked toward the palace, not with fear anymore, but with thankfulness. And somewhere in the quiet, Fazza stood by his window, watching the stars that once hid from him, now shining in loyal light. He smiled, that gentle, timeless smile, the one that gives hope to strangers, the one that makes faith feel possible again. And in that smile lived a promise that every fall has purpose, every prayer finds its way, and every soul that chooses kindness will always return to light. Fazza, the poet, the prince, the prayer of Dubai, remained more than a name. He became a story, a heartbeat that outlasts silence, a reminder that life, no matter how fragile, is still a beautiful gift when lived with love, courage, and faith. After the silence, after the healing, came the light, soft, golden, endless. The city awoke to mornings filled with gentle calm, the kind that follows answered prayers. Fazza walked quietly through the gardens of his palace, the scent of jasmine and oud surrounding his thoughts. Every leaf shimmered with meaning, every breeze felt sacred. He no longer rushed through time, he listened instead to the rhythm of his heartbeat, to the whispers of his people, to the secrets that life shares only after storms. His pen returned to his fingers, his words flowed like light itself, no longer writing of pain or fear, but of wisdom, rebirth, faith. He wrote, every wound holds a doorway to understanding. Every fall teaches surrender. Every tear washes pride. The verses spread like wings across Dubai's golden skyline. Readers paused midday to feel their truth, to breathe their softness. Even travelers passing through the desert felt a stillness, a kind of peace that followed the echo of his name, Fazza. Children now learned his poems in schools, reciting them with pride and affection. Elders smiled, saying these words will outlive towers. At night, the moon rested softly above his city, and stars seemed to gather nearer. Some said the sky itself listened when Fazza prayed. He stood often by the sea, watching the water curl and retreat, as if bowing in remembrance. Sometimes he spoke to the waves, not aloud, but with his heart. Thank you, fate, for teaching mercy. Thank you, time, for giving grace. The ocean answered in its language. The hush between two tides, the stillness before dawn, and from that stillness his soul found peace. Again, Fazza became more than poetry now. He was symbol, story, and strength. Wherever a heart ached in silence, his words reached. Wherever someone doubted, his story guided.